People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. I hope you're all well and safe. Got a couple of things to speak about and I'm not going to be here long. The first is obviously our former manager, the tinker man, Unai Emery, and in the same way that he likes to tinker with his tactics, he clearly likes to tinker in his love life. And to be fair, his game management, his man management, his crisis management, his tactical outlook has not served him. We previously heard, obviously, during his time at Arsenal, it was reported, he was doing having a bit of fun on the side. I've spoken about it before. There's now another report, and again, it comes out of the scum. I think you know which newspaper I'm referring to. Don't buy it, but it came across my feed on Twitter, so we might as well speak about it. It says former Arsenal boss Unai Emery was dating a Spanish bar owner at the same time as seeing a UK businesswoman. It has emerged now. From personal experience, it's hard enough maintaining one lady, so I can imagine two women, which it takes a lot on a serious note to invest in your love life, let alone doing the dirty, let alone managing a football club, let alone managing Arsenal, let alone managing Arsenal being the first manager after Arsene Wenger, and the delicate situation Arsenal found themselves in, and the scapegoatedness. He must have been stressed. It's a miracle how he's still got a full head of hair. Shout out to Emery. But I mean, much like his tinkering with tactics, it's clear to see why this thing didn't work out, really, people. But it said they can now reveal Arsenal flop Unai. Now, I've got to stop here now. I don't think to call Unai Emery a flop, an actual flop, is a failure. It's a bit harsh, people. Do I think his time here wasn't successful? Of course. Did I want Unai Emery gone? Of course. Did I find his tactics frustrating? Of course. Was he not the right fit? Yes. There's many things as to why he was wrong, but to call him a flop isn't necessarily fair. Listen, he should have gone last year when he messed up the top four race, but at the end of the day, him and the team got us into a place where they were not in this season's Champions League because of how they bottled the last tail end, and he got us fifth. Forgive me if I'm wrong, fifth, sixth, however, wherever we were, I can't remember. I actually can't remember, but it was a decent finish in whatever year it was, and they got us a Europa League final. Now again, the cynic in me says Europa League final was the minimum, but again, I like to keep things balanced. A flop isn't exactly maybe I'm reaching, but I think it's a bit harsh to call him a flop. But definitely flopped in this regards, people. Definitely flopped in this regards, and again, he's shown that he probably has problems dealing with big personalities, because when I hear Spanish businesswoman, for me that screams boss B, like strong, opinionated, dominant lady, my kind of woman, dominated sort of thing, not taking no nonsense sort of thing. And probably the other lady that he was seeing was the same. So you can see how, much like with Ozil, with Xhaka, with Torreira, he had issues dealing with personalities and stuff like that, people. Yeah, man, it said obviously was fired last November. It said has also been dating bar owner Lucia Villasenguer in his native Spain. A source close to her said Lucia has travelled all over the world with Unai, and while they're not married, they live together like man and wife. They've been together more than 10 years, and she has been his partner since he split from his actual wife, Lucia. Right, man, is this Unai Emery or Vibes Cartel, man? He's got girl everywhere, isn't it? Like, man, like, but yeah, no, this is different from the last report I did on him, because he's gone from apparently they're living together, going all around the world, but the other lass he was seeing, she couldn't see the family, she couldn't do this and that. Clearly, he had his main thing, he had his side thing, he had his fried chicken and curry goat and things, but he didn't just want mac and cheese, he wanted curry goat, he wanted everything, people. Shout out to Emery, he's moving mad. Like I said, I'm not even calling him, it's Unai Cartel now, man. We got to change that up, man. I'm so sure I saw Unai Emery at Sting a couple of years ago. But moving forward, he said, she's still with Unai now, and it has caused great confusion because Sasha says she has been with him until last month. So he's got to sort that out. In February last year, Lucia shared a picture on social media of her and dad of one Emery posing cheek to cheek with the caption, "Our Valentine's Day celebrated early for obvious reasons." Another picture online showed her kissing him, and she said of Emery, "Winners never give up, and those that give up never win." Is that Emery? Is that? Listen, I wish this was a different platform, but you know, Emery must be laying it down, you know, to have them moving mad and crazy like that. You see that she ain't really to give up yet. Madman Emery. Madman. But anyways, yeah, so yeah, on a serious note, that's what's happened with Unai Emery. Yeah, apparently she also lived with him during his time in Paris, during his 2 years in PSG, people. Obviously, last week you heard he was dating Sasha, a 35-year-old Londoner, Sasha. She obviously opened up on their 2-year togetherness, people. And she also revealed that he met her after most games and flew her to Spain for a romantic break. So he didn't really want to get seen, people. So it is what it is in that regards. Off topic, and one striker I'm keeping a keen lookout and keen to see his development next season is Fabio Silva. Now, he should be one you all know about. Plays for Porto. Sure, by now he's made his debut. 17 years of age. I think he has it all to go to the top. You know, I think he's been linked with Spurs and Juventus. Spurs should know all about him because he destroyed Spurs at youth level a couple of years ago, whenever it happened. I'm sure him and that Romario Balade, I can't say his name, but they tore them apart. He's someone I'd like Arsenal to have a look at. Of course, at 17, I'm not expecting him to score 20 league goals and things, but he's someone I'd like the look of. Two former players we've been linked with. The first one is Papa Gueye, the 21-year-old El Havre midfielder. Our London Coley neighbours, Watford, apparently are close to making that one permanent and getting that one done. He's been linked with the latest club, Marseille. Apparently, Marseille have been informed that he's on his way to Watford, people. So maybe maybe he goes into the Arsenal training ground by mistake. But for what it's worth, Watford and his club are now in advanced talks over Gueye's sale, though it is undecided whether he'll be moving to England immediately. L'Equipe says Watford could sign Gueye and send him on loan to Serie A sister club Udinese next season. As you lot know, both teams are owned by the same family that owns Watford. Apparently, like I said, Marseille made an attempt to sign him, but were informed that he's going to Watford. As you don't know, he's contracted until 2021. In relation to Brandon Sope of Rennes, a right back that allegedly we scouted heavily and was linked with last summer, Celtic are interested in him, and apparently they've made a bid of £1.5 million plus future incentives for his signature. I don't know if Arsenal want to go back in there, but that's what Eurosport are reporting. It is believed, like I said, he's contracted until, it's a deal worth 1.5 million plus bonuses. As you lot know, he's contracted until June 2021, so they need to make a decision. He's also got RB Leipzig interested in him. He can improve a bit defensively, but he is very good going forward, and he is someone, if they only want a minimal fee, I think Arsenal could do a lot worse. And I do think he's someone that could be in and around the first team, would need an adaptation period, but eventually can take over from Bellerin / challenge Bellerin. I think he's better going forward than Bellerin. Apparently, for what it's worth, like I said, Leipzig are looking at him. Rennes are trying to convince him, obviously, to sign a new deal and promising to integrate him into the first team squad. Apparently, Hamari Traore, who is their first choice right back, is allegedly set to depart. So that could also be a carrot because there's more of a pathway for him. So we'll see. We'll have to see how that one develops, people. If I'm completely honest. Away from that though, and I don't know what to make of this, but former Spurs man Damien Comoli has said only 3 Premier League teams have money to spend in the summer. Now, we don't know that to be true. We don't know how everything's reacting in the market in relation to this COVID-19 stuff. But for what he's worth, he said, an agent was telling me the other day that there are actually only 3 clubs in the Premier League that will be able to spend money next summer in the transfer window. So I don't know the third. I want to say Liverpool because they didn't spend too much money last season. I don't know this, but I would, again, if I had to bet my life on 2 clubs, I'd say it's the 2 Manchester clubs. I don't know for the third one because I don't think United have an issue. City are backed by some serious riches. You know what? It could even be Newcastle with these new owners coming in, and it's scaring me. But yeah, for what it's worth, this could be scaremongering. But he said, I don't know if this is actually correct, but usually when an agent tells you things like this, they usually get intel. And again, we don't know this. This could all be worse, but he said, we might see very little transfer activity, we might see swaps, we might see loans, and I think we're going to see a massive decrease in transfer fees and activities, at least involving money. We don't know, because we say this, and everything he said, I think we're going to see it. But what happens if a player goes for 200 million again? it's flipped on its head sort of thing, people. So I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But I think, for what it's worth, I agree with what he's saying, but I don't know this. Not in relation to the free. I do think Premier League clubs will struggle to spend as much, but I don't know clubs' health, the health of their finances. But I do think in relation to swaps, maybe loans, maybe different structure of payments, maybe just more creativity in the transfer market. I do think we might see that. He said the longer this crisis goes on, more clubs are going to be in a financially difficult situation. The first thing that will be impacted will be players' remuneration. The second will be transfer fees. So obviously players' money, and then players' fees and monies and not transfers, wages and bonuses. Then obviously the fees. There are millions of fans who cannot come into stadiums and will be happy to have something else at night or during the day to think about away from the virus and all issues they've got to think about. I think having football on TV would be positive personally. I wouldn't be surprised if we can't play without any fans until the end of 2020, not just the end of this season. People say we shouldn't play behind closed doors to finish this season, but what about next season? And, that's some great points. We might very well see it because, again, you're hearing 1 minute there's a vaccine for this, then you're hearing it's coming next year. For what it's worth, I do think we need a vaccine and things, and I don't want this conversation to go left, people. But I'm not going to sit here and lie. I would not be one of the... I'm not trying to take that... I'm going to let it marinate a bit. I'm not trying to be one of the first... Obviously, I can't be the first, but one of the first to take that, people. Car. From my understanding, again... difficult situations make difficult things, and again, I don't know more than scientists, but from my knowledge, there need to be many different tests done on vaccines, how it reacts differently, more time, there's always some side effects and things, and in a nice way, I don't want that to be me, so I hope that's not the case. But with that being said, if there's no vaccine or way to really stop this, how can we expect mass events? Massive. Again, we probably will see it before the end of the year, but I don't know that. How can you expect carnival and wireless and football and all of these things that Glastonbury and many different concerts, rappers and artists got? What's that one in Cambridge? The festival, is it something cream? I've never got it. Could be cookies and creams, could be strawberry and creams, could be I don't know what it is, but you don't know what I'm getting at. It wouldn't make sense, and it is quite scary. So with that, how can you have the Emirates, Old Trafford, Spurs' new ground, Anfield, Newcastle's thing, bare these ground? You can't have none of them open, and it's not even just the ground. More time, people. You got to remember when it's a match day, you've got people who want to, you at the Emirates, just by going in, you've got people want to donate for charity, jingling the thing. You've got people with burger stands and stuff. You've got match day sellers. You've got some man that don't even want to go in the game, not even in the game. They're just about in the atmosphere, ticket trouting, or just there for the sake of being there. People, obviously, on match day things are changed, but there's normal citizens who might not even know anything or give a crap about football, people, but they still have to operate within Gillespie Road to Finsbury Park or whatever you want to say, that whole communal. So there's more people, congregating and all of these sort of things and using. And don't forget, this is me assuming everyone's from North London. Certain people got to come from South, so they're taking the train and making all them journeys, and you can see how all the germs and stuff get spread, if it is that. So again, I agree with everything Kamoli said, but I don't know this. Again, it's all... Nobody's got money to spend until you see someone spend, because the one that I'm looking at is Neymar. Again, if I see... It looks like... Apparently you're hearing Cristiano Ronaldo might go back to Real Madrid. You're hearing Neymar to Barcelona. Again, we don't know any of this to be true. But if these sort of things happen... what's to be said then? What is said then? Do you get it, people? So it is what it is in that regards. I don't think I have anything more to add, so I'm just going to simply keep it moving and get out of here. So I hope you have a blessed day or blessed evening or blessed afternoon, whoever you are, whatever you are doing. On that note, though, I'm going to get out of here. Get in the comments, subscribe, share up the vid, because especially with this society now, I need all the AdSense I can get, so make sure you're watching them ads. But on a serious note, people, DG.